reality of the situation is that I am in over my head. I started off this whole project super ambitious. I carry with me buckets of audacity everywhere I go. The thing is, when we're at the point where audacity and pressure meet, this is where I usually crumble and fail. And my skill level and my idea level are just so far off. I really wanted to make something that involved this applique, which has become an obsession of mine over the last week or so. It feels like an eternity, but really it's been like a week or two. And then I got this wild hair that I'm going to create a shirt using this whole applique method, having never done it before. You can see here my first sample that I've ever done. One. This is the first one, you know what I'm saying? I did a second sample, 2. Not bad, not great, and just more time and information needed. It just was not feeling right to make the applique work for this project. So I'm gonna go with what feels right. I know it's not that big of a deal. It's not necessarily less. It'll still be really cool, and it will turn out as something that I will be proud of and proud for my partner to wear upon his body to look cool and be a cool little Western cowboy.
So the project is a shirt for my husband for our second wedding anniversary. The theme is cotton, if you're into the traditional thing. Not normally am, but it gave me a little bit of inspiration. I wanted to find a shirt and then do a bunch of turn needle applique on it because I just love that design aesthetic, but my skills just weren't there for the amount of time that I had to actually complete the shirt. So I decided to pivot, and I found a shirt that I thought would look nice and was 100% cotton, and I dyed it. Not once, but twice. Everybody, just so you know, you do need a larger dye bath than a stock pot to get it all done and not have it be splotchy. And then I replaced all of the buttons with handmade silver buttons and then hand embroidered it. And so you'll see the process of me finishing this piece and doing the finishing touches of this shirt over the course of this week. And yeah, I gave it to him and he loves it. And I do think it will help him fulfill his Western cowboy dreams and fantasies.
Sweet. Are you sweet? Yeah. Oh.
It is that time again. It's that time again. Oh, the camera's dirty. It's that time to clean this place up. Guess who lives in here pretty much full time? It's this guy. He's dusty. He's dirty. It's springtime and he's blowing his coat like it's nobody's damn business. It's almost 80 degrees today, and then it's supposed to snow and be cold for the next 3 days because welcome to the Rocky Mountains, baby. That's just how it is. So I like to monopolize on these warmer, nicer days and use the weather to my benefit. The wind is kind of breezing. We're getting some good cross breeze through the room. I'm dusting everything high to low, you guys. Remember, dust everything high to low. I forgot about you for a while because it was winter and I didn't want to spend a lot of time in here because I've also been going through some stuff, and art has been feeling like maybe kind of weird. I don't know. I think I've been spinning some stories around how I can't do it and making some stories around how I'm not good enough and how this feels like a burden. So I'm just cleaning the energy out. It's spring, you know? what a better time than now for some cleaning, as they say. There's a whole movement around it. Spring cleaning, as they say. That's what I'm doing. Fuzz bucket eating lunch. I'm just gonna finish dusting in here, and then I'm going to do a deep clean of my soldering station because it has not been deep cleaned since about maybe July. I don't know if I've cleaned it once since I've moved into this space. Oh. Unreal. Unreal. He's so cute. I like these Liquitex gouaches a lot. But I fuck with this Winsor Newton. What other colors did I get? Oh, and this Acryla. I really like this stuff. I bought this like cheap set, and it's okay. It gets the job done, especially if you're just trying to fuck around with some paints for the first time. Mid-roll ad. I made these like ceramic eye talismans forever ago. Like, I don't know if there's a year on any of them. So 2023 is what I'm guessing. XXIII. I really had a lot of fun making these, and I think if I even had a ball of clay in my presence right now, I would make more, despite the fact that I still have like 40 of them. They didn't sell too tremendously well, despite the fact that they're like $20. I thought that they would be affordable, like cool little like stoneware talismans. They've all been fired through a reduction kiln, so they're like stoneware, and you can wear them as like a necklace. They all come with cotton cord, and you can wear them as a necklace, or you can like hang it on your wall for a little protection vibe. This one's got a lot of details. This one's got a lot of details. This one has less details, but still details. And then like these are the most simple ones. This kind of like turquoise color, and then this black that I already kind of showed you. I would say most of them are like in the medium detail range. And they're all still currently on my website. Oh, another fun fact is my husband went to a bronc riding school in Oklahoma, and I brought a ball of clay and like the tools to make these. So I actually made these in the car in the middle of BFE, Oklahoma. And then I finished them in Arizona. Like obviously they had to get fired and glazed, and I did that at the studio that I was working out of in Arizona. But $25 to $45. And if you're watching this, you can use this code that pops up if they're still available, and take like 15% off just to like get them in your loving hands. So found these while I was cleaning. That's fun. My whole studio is clean. You guys, I only showed you a snippet. It's clean, and the energy is so good. Like, the dust was just at a place where it was like unbearable. And I don't know how to describe how it feels to just wipe down every surface and run a vacuum and a broom and burn a little smoke, you know? How it feels, cheese. Yeah, exactly. It feels really good. Just like the way the air feels and smells, and even just like the quality of the sunlight coming through the window. It feels fresh and new. I spent all day yesterday cleaning this space. Like literally like 5 or 6 hours. There's a garage that I solder in and we store a bunch of stuff in. And it gets so dusty. Between bro and dust, like wind, we're just like currently in the windy season, and it was just time, like enough was enough. So I did that. I got 23,000 steps yesterday, and I'm physically so tired today. So I'm gonna paint some mystery drawings to show you guys like the process. I've been wanting to play with gouache paint. I have 1 hour until I have to get ready for dinner. So we're gonna hang out with cheese and play with some gouache. I haven't played with gouache like 2-3 years, so
I'm really excited. I love gouache. I love it. It's fun. Isn't that right?
he says never put me down. He's so happy. When he extends the arm, you know that's how it's good. Oh, he says, he just is such a lover. He's such a lover, cat. He's such a lover. Except I say that and he hisses at everybody who's not me. My friends have come over to meet Cheese and he's really sweet and kind to them. But like when my father-in-law walks into the garage, it's so funny. He's so sassy and funny. He is. He's a comedian. Oh, he's so sweet. I love this kitty. I think I'm just going to use the rest of these. Because why not? Oh, it's the kind that's like in there. What if I just go with this? What if I just go with this and see what happens? Maybe I'll start with watercolor. Because we got this little eyeball moment. This outline was a mistake, but I'm not going to give up because I have a tendency to give up. Okay, that's all I did for today. This could be yours if you order a mystery drawing. Stuff like this. It's not always going to be watercolor paintings, but this is one that will be available that I will send in a mystery drawing.
Your anniversary?
You guys?
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
Immediate response.
We'll look at the road clothes.
The seatbelt is in my hands. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. If I told you that I still had sunburn from my run 2 days ago, would you believe me? Because it was scorching hot that day. Like, it was literally 90 degrees on Saturday. And it's snowing big fat fucking flakes on Friday. Ah! Welcome to Colorado, everybody. Ew. And then it's supposed to be in the 70s in like 2 days. Bipolar weather. Just when you think it's safe to put your winter coats away, nature said, psych, bitch, get him back out. It's like the big fat wet flakes kind of snow. Like, my coat is like soaked. But I had to venture down to the studio in order to finish my buttons for the shirt that I'm making for Austin, and to make sure that Bubby Cat had his blankets because I washed them the other day. Not really thinking it was gonna be this cold. So I had to bring him some blankets. I deconstructed his little winter den because I was like, surely winter's done. No. I guess I should listen to the Farmer's Almanac. The last freeze day is May 17th. But it's not so bad. His water is not frozen. And it's really actually not cold in the studio. And look at him. I think he's not. Ugh.
He has a coat on. He's got his own blanket, kind of built-in blanket situation going on here. So I think it's going to take quite a bit for him to get cold, and his little paws have not touched the cold, wet snow. So he really has nothing to like accelerate the chili. I'm going to hang out with him for a couple hours, maybe work on a painting, definitely set some stones. I've been really inspired to paint the last couple days. I just am feeling like I need to like work myself out of a funk. And I need to change the style of vlogs that I'm making and content that I'm making. Like, I'm still going to make build videos, but I still think that puts a lot of pressure on the creative process to like produce a finished product every week. So I don't know. I'm just shifting a little bit just to try and like be in a more empowered place, follow my intuition, not be so strict on like, this is what it all has to look like. This is an evolution and you're here to witness it. Last night we went to the city, the big city, for a birthday dinner, and we went to a dueling piano bar. It was so fun, but we didn't get home until 2 a.m. and I had 4 alcoholic beverages, which for me is a lot because I think maybe I usually have 4 in 1 month. Like, I just don't really enjoy alcohol that much, except for every once in a while. It was really fun. Louie's in Colorado Springs. You should go. It was so fun. I'm tired. I didn't really sleep as late as I could have. Sometimes I still am like part of the rat race, you know? Still sometimes feel like I have to get up and get after it. So I read 2 chapters of my fan fiction that I'm reading currently, From Wiltshire with Love. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. I just think after Lionheart, I don't know if I'm ever going to recover. Like, I need to read all the young dudes and kind of go from there. I don't know, man. Gryffindor Draco is just unbeatable. Green Teacup, you've ruined me. I mean that with only love and respect. I love your fic so much. I think about it every day. It's my current Roman Empire. I've been just feeling really inspired to paint. I pulled out my gouaches yesterday and you guys watched me paint a watercolor, which is fine. But I'm gonna cut some paper down to the right size and actually like smush some gouache around on the page. First things first, I'm gonna set stones because it's the task I want to do the least. And it's not even that big of a deal. It just needs to get done. But we're gonna set stones together to keep me accountable before I get into the whole painting of it all.
That's not snackies, it's gemstones. That's not snackies.
He wishes it was snackies. They're freaking done, yeah. Here are the two paintings that I did. We have this one that I really like and that I need to let dry because I did a lot of layers on it, and then I'm gonna do some ink over it. I really like to mix ink and paint. I think it's really fun. And then there's this one that I think is hideous, but I finished it anyway because I have this tendency to start paintings and start drawings, and then as soon as they're kind of halfway ugly, I quit. And I need to break out of that practice. Like, it's okay to make bad art. Maybe somebody loves this or not. Like, it doesn't really matter because I created it for the sake of creating it. I got my paints out that I wanted to get out for a long time. If this just lives in a box for the rest of eternity, I don't really think it matters. Like, just taking the pressure off of the art making process is something that I need to prioritize at the moment. And it feels good to do it. So this one is like a swirly water kind of moment, and I think it's really ugly and I kind of hate it, but we had to make that one so that we can make this one. And you know, that's just the art making process. You have to make ugly art so you can make good art, and I really stand by that. I made this yogurt and I'm so proud of it. Like, it's actually good. So easy too, and all it cost was a gallon of milk and a scoop of my old yogurt. And now I have a lot of yogurt, so I'm gonna get some of the water out of it. Hi.
I just have a few things to say to finish up this week's vlog. This is the first time I'm making a vlog like this, and I don't know, I needed to do something a little bit different than the programming that I had planned. I recently just let my business kind of die so that it could be reborn. So for those of you who have seen a few of my videos before, I was previously Left-Handed Alchemy. Now I am Left-Handed Studios. I needed to make a mindset shift, honestly, about this whole thing. And I was having a really hard time doing that under the umbrella of something that I had built up and created such a concrete identity around. I tried to make multiple videos talking about this already, and they get so long-winded. And the vlog that I had planned for this last week that I just ended up not uploading, I was contemplating what I had said, and I realized that I was telling a ton of stories about why I was stuck and the identity that I was wearing, and kind of unconscious of it, obviously, when I was talking about it, but I was trying to talk about identity and burnout and all these things while actively wearing an identity that was reinforcing the burnout and reinforcing the stuckness, and just kind of the feeling of being stuck didn't feel good. So I needed to take a minute to like get a little space. I've been feeling like something in the ether has been shifting, but there haven't been words for it yet. It's just been like a feeling. I stumbled on Little Tiny Eggs YouTube channel. I've been in the progress of watching all of her videos, and they're so inspiring. She's just like, she's been through so much in life, but at least the way that she portrays her life and her attitude about all of it on the internet is so positive. She faced death and then beat it, and is still in the progress of, like, you know, living her life post being very ill. And it's so inspiring. And her studio vlogs reminded me that all of this is supposed to be really playful. Like, she has such a good attitude about running a business and all of the bullshit that goes with running the business, and taking the bad with the good and spinning it in a more positive mindset, which is something that I think I have failed at a little bit. It's just like, I have become resentful of the business side of things. So I had to separate myself from identity of business owner for a little while. And then she's just been very inspiring to recognize that it really is about your mindset. And I don't know, geez, his claws are digging into my skin and he has no chill. Like, the boy does not lay still, cannot lay still. He's constantly wiggling, constantly trying to get me to pet him. And like, it's cute until now. It's overstimulating because his claws are like making biscuits in my legs and it hurts so bad. You hear that? If you don't lay still, you're getting booted, okay? I'm not necessarily trying to copy what Little Tiny Egg is doing. It's just that what she's doing is very inspiring to me and has reminded me that all of this is supposed to be playful, that this kind of break in character that I've been attempting is supposed to foster a spirit of play. Going through having to reparent myself and heal my inner child, I really must admit that the play aspect of it and the play aspect of life is something that is not natural to my inherent being. I've taken everything very seriously for so long because I had to grow up really fast and I was never really given like a proper, true, carefree, joyful childhood. And I'm giving that to myself now as an adult and I get to embody that now as an adult. So it's not all bad. It's just not natural for me. It is not my inherent being to like nurture play. I'm usually gearing towards survival, but I've been in a place where I'm safe for a long time and no longer am I really having to obsess over survival and be in survival mode. And so I oscillate in and out. Like sometimes I'm in a more playful place and then I get triggered or just something happens and I'm back in survival mode and I'm fighting for my life. And then I do a little bit of nervous system processing and then I'm remembering like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be playful. And I'm kind of dipping back into like a playful place. Just as you could see, like with a lot of the painting that I was doing, I'm never going to make prints of most of this stuff. It's all just for fun. Anything in my sketchbook is just for fun. It's like an oscillation. I just keep thinking of and seeing this like thing going up and down and in and out. I've spent a lot of time learning who I am and developing a sense of self, like capital S self. And then the ego comes in and is like, hey man, I want to make like a whole thing about this. And I was listening to Jessa Reed talk on Projector in the Flail in their most recent episode about how when you awaken, when you go through like a spiritual awakening, you're gaining all of this insight and all of this knowledge about like life and you and your soul and your healing and you're getting like a new perspective of what all of this can be, this like video game of life. And you want to do something with it. You want to use this knowledge that you're gaining to help people. And I definitely fell into that trap thinking like, okay, I healed some generational trauma in my early 20s and that can't be for nothing. It's my job, it's my mission, it's my purpose to help people. And I was like trying to force it too much when I like very much wasn't ready. Like I would attempt to say something or do something or put out a piece of content to like share my wisdom because I'm so wise now. And I would then be immediately shown the shadow aspect of that and like the way that I actually know nothing. I've grounded that out a lot. I would say in the last year, like I go through waves still where I feel really connected to spirit and my like higher self. And I'm trying to maintain now a place where like I'm connected to that, but it doesn't take away from my experience of life because I've just gotten to a point where I don't really care about what all of this is and who we are and where we come from and are we going to reincarnate and what's the best way to live and how can I be the most pure. I feel like all of it's kind of an ego trap. And like the only point really truly is to experience and like follow that inner knowing and like inner nudge. And that will lead you to what you desire and desiring of things that are like truly aligned with what you would like in life. It has to be for the plot, you know? It can't be like my ego trying to will this thing into existence that I think is going to make my life better or make me seem cooler or I don't know. And I think that with my business and the brand and the art that I was making, many aspects of it were very authentic to who I am with my capital S self, but also a lot of it was identities and things that I was wearing because I was trying things on and trying things out, and I just forgot to take them off. It's like if you just kept layering on new coats, like, oh, I want to try this one, and then I want to try this one, and then I want to try this one, and you have like 10 coats on, and you're like, this feels kind of funny. I need to take them all off. And then you realize like coat 3 or 4 in the pile is like actually something that you like. Or like, you like the pockets on the first one, you like the lining on the second one, you like the color of the third one, you like the shape of the fourth one, you know what I'm saying? And then you kind of build your own custom coat. This is all just like an analogy for how I feel like I've been navigating through my art practice. Honestly, I started making jewelry and like being an artist when I was this big. I have pages and pages of dumbass crayons drawings that my grandma kept, and now they're all in a book, and it's like really fun to look back at that and see how inner child Sabina is authentically connected to the process of art and creation and expressing creativity through physical creation of like art. That's how my being desires to create on like a grand scale. And then there's like teen Sabina, who was like stringing beads and finding rocks and wire wrapping and like making polymer clay bullshit and pottery and learning how to sew, and was like very much in like experimentation mode. And how a lot of those mediums have still cycled out through to where I am now as an adult. And I mean, you know, I'm still young in my adulthood. I'm only 28 as I'm recording this. So I'm still very green in the world of like being an adult and like having a fully formed frontal lobe. And, you know, I'm not even 30 yet. There's still, God willing, you know, whatever, whoever creates, fate's willing, I don't know. There's hopefully still a lot of time left to continue to develop this relationship with my art and my capital S self. So I know that like, I know nothing, and to try and be esoteric and share this like esoteric knowledge, I'll do my best, but my opinions are constantly changing because I've learned the importance of trying things on and taking them off and taking what you like and morphing it into your own thing, and then trying on the next thing and kind of creating this like custom coat of beliefs and practice within life. Like, went through massive spiritual awakening, major deconstruction of Christianity, kind of boiled down to nothing. I've done a little bit of deity work. My main thing now is like ancestor veneration, but mostly done through like the body, like my physical body. And a lot of the spiritual ritual is something that like I do intuitively. It's not something I do consistently, but the most consistent spiritual act that I feel like I do is create. And so just boiling it down to my authentic being, and then trying on things and taking what I like from that and leaving what I don't like, and remembering to take the coat off before trying on the next thing, because trying on too many coats leads to burnout, and you're really hot and you're like, God, someone turn the heat down, but it's actually like -20 outside and you just actually have 20 coats on. I just know that for me, I need to be a little bit more playful with the process of creation. A lot of what I was making throughout the years was true to me and was something that excited me, but I also wanted success so bad because of what I thought it was going to mean for me, like monetary success, and trying to rush it and create something that maybe wasn't in true alignment with me. And I can just think of multiple collections that I've created that have been dupes of other people's art because I saw that they sold out their shop collection of pieces that were kind of like this. So I'm going to do that in my own language, and I bet that it's going to hit the same. And then like I was disappointed because it didn't hit the same because it wasn't exactly mine. And I forgot to take off the coat before I made the art. Like I forgot to take what I like and then make it my own when I was trying to build this thing. And so everything just got really muddy, and it started to feel like maybe it wasn't mine anymore. I'm trying to remind myself and like really solidify a knowing that I have that my personal life and the way that I fill my time outside of art making informs the art making. And being an artist is only one aspect of my identity, and it is no longer the only thing that gives me self-esteem, because for a long time it really was the thing that gave me self-esteem. I hated myself so completely, but I knew I was like pretty decent at making art. So I just held on for dear life because without it, I was nothing. Refer to healing journey that I talked about already. And I start to develop a capital S self and go through a little bit of artist block because I start to realize I'm wearing too many coats, and maybe some of these ideas that I was having was actually just like copying other people's stuff. I'm definitely not opposed to copying. I think that copying can give us new tools. It just depends on the intention with it. Where like if you're copying someone like flat out, stroke for stroke with your art, and you're trying to pull it off as your own and give no credit to the original artist, that's pretty shady. You know, you see accounts doing that all the time, like really ripping off. But there's a level of copying that gives you an opportunity to learn. I took a ceramics class in college, and it was like an intro to hand building ceramics class. And I gotta be honest, I had been in ceramic hand building for like 8 years before this. Like I've had a lot of experience with clay. It was my first love. And so I knew what I was doing, but part of the class was taking pictures from the internet that you found of pre-Columbian pottery, because most of it was hand built, and trying to recreate the pieces because you figured out how to construct and how to manipulate the material by trying to emulate the way another artist was doing it. And I actually learned so much. I thought that I knew everything, but then through the act of copying and trying to create shapes and colors and textures within the clay and the medium, I actually learned so much that I didn't previously know. And so now as I move forward in my art practice, when I'm inspired by something, I make note of it. I keep it on a Pinterest board. I refer to it when I'm sketching. And then I take what I like and I leave what I don't. I sketch and I copy and I do what I need to do to learn that new thing. And then I'm trying to incorporate that into what I create. So I'm not necessarily going to abandon the process videos. I think I really like that. But I was starting to feel the pressure build in that everything I was creating, I was trying to make a video about it. And being prolifically creative myself, I work in a lot of different mediums and I like to work through a lot of different ideas. Having the camera constantly on felt like an added layer of pressure that was maybe unnecessary. And especially as I developed my skills, there's a few projects that I was trying to make videos about and not actually finishing the project because it needed tinker time and a true uninterrupted flow play state, that making a process video was really like dampering that because I couldn't get into the flow state because I was constantly having to set up the shot. But I didn't really know what I was doing because I'm doing it for the first time and I'm figuring it out for the first time. And like process videos incoming, I have a few in the queue. But as far as like the obsessiveness of it and the way that I was approaching it, I have to shift to be more playful. Process videos will still happen. You're still going to see how things are made, but there's also going to be vlogs and little like snippets of life mixed in because this is just like my life. You know, I'm just a creative person who has decided to dedicate my life and make meaning in and create meaning in more so the creative process and sharing that with you and hopefully inspiring you to be creative in your own special ways. Because if you get nothing from these videos, I hope that at least one of you gets the creative inspiration to do something creative with your life. Like creativity doesn't have to be like ink on paper or watercolor on paper or a physical manifestation of like an artistic idea. Creativity is anything that you do that like generates and is new and forward thinking, and it can be as simple as creating space for your friends to gather, creating space for a mom group. You open your doors to your home so that your mom friends can come over and you guys can just like commiserate in life and be in community together. That's a creative act. Making dinner for yourself or a loved one, creative act. The list can go on, and being creative about how you define creativity. I've already said this in a couple videos already, but I'm just going to keep like beating this horse until it's good and dead. You have to get creative about how you think about creativity and how you define that for yourself. If you're not somebody who's necessarily a traditional artist like I may be, or like many other artists and creatives that you think about are, like stop putting yourself down. Maybe you can't draw a stick figure. You could figure out, you know, talent and skill are something that is learned. If you desire to create, you will create. in any way that is possible. And the more that you do it, the more that muscle builds, and the more you'll be able to create more and more and more and define it for yourself. This is like not a one size fits all kind of situation here. You have to define it in a way that works for you. So I've talked long enough. Cheese is telling me to shut the hell up. He's kind of the guy who runs the show around here. He's like, wrap it up, guys, wrap it up.
He's my little baby boy.
God, he's so cute. I can't even get over it.
I can't even get over how cute he is. He's so sweet. He's the sweetest kitty I've ever known.